Assalamu alaikum my dear student, this is Shaukat Hussain Afridi. Today I am going to do a very interesting grammar lesson, that is adjectives and its types. I hope you will listen to me carefully. In this lesson you will learn what an adjective is, functions of adjectives, rules of adjectives, different types and usage of adjectives and sentences, and last one is degrees of adjectives. My dear student, adjectives are words that give more information about a noun or pronoun and can go in different positions in a sentence. It means after noun and before noun. So basically the main function of a sentence, of an adjective in a sentence, is to modify a noun or pronoun so that it will become more specific and interesting. For example, the movie is interesting. So we are talking about the movie, that it is very interesting to watch. So it gives information about the movie, that it is very interesting. Now my dear student, use of adjective in a sentence. It's very important to know about how to use adjective in a sentence. Adjectives are used at two places in a sentence on the basis of structure of the sentence. For example, the first use of adjective before a noun. Adjectives are mostly used before a noun. For example, he bought an expensive car. So car is a noun which is used here in this sentence, and expensive is an adjective. So adjective is used before noun in this sentence. This is the first use of adjective in the sentence. Number second example, he gifted me a nice shirt. So nice is an adjective, shirt is a noun. So adjective is before the noun in this sentence, etc. Now second use of adjective after a verb or after a noun or pronoun. An adjective is also used after a sentence after a stative verb. For example, see, consist, is, have, feel, etc. These are some of the words that an adjective can be used. For example, he is so handsome. So is used is a verb and handsome is an adjective. So a handsome adjective is after the verb is. Number second example, the kids became happy. So happy is an adjective which is at the end of this sentence. Number third example, the movie is interesting. So movie is interesting. A movie is noun, verb is, and interesting is an adjective, and interesting is used at the end of this sentence. My dear students, functions of adjective. On the basis of usage, etc. or characteristics, adjectives have many functions. The first one is adjectives can describe feelings or qualities of something. For example, they are honest people. So we are talking about people, that they are so honest. So honest describing the quality of people, that they are very honest. Number two, give nationality or origin to something. If I say this watch is German, so it means I have mentioned the origin or nationality of this watch or clock. Clear? Number third, tell me. Now adjectives tell more about things, characteristics, that what feature this thing has. It gives us the characteristic of things. For example, the knife is sharp. So sharp is an adjective. It gives us the quality of this knife or thing. It also tells more about size and measurement. So adjective also gives information about a thing, size and measurement. For example, Ahmed is a tall man. So tall is an adjective which is used here to mention the measurement and size of Ahmed. Number 5 example, tell, it tells us about color. It also adjective also tells us about the color. For example, he has a red shirt. So red is an example of adjective here in this sentence. It also tells us about shape and what shape this thing consists of or is having. For example, it is a rectangular box. So it also gives information about the shape, size, measurement, things characteristic, origin and nationality, feelings and qualities of things. Now let's get started. Adjectives are words that describe or modify other words, making your writing and speaking much more specific and a whole lot more interesting. It is to keep in mind that adjective gives us information and makes the speaking and writing very interesting for the audience or readers. Words like small, beautiful, handsome, blue and sharp are examples of adjectives. These are some of the examples of adjectives. They are usually positioned before the noun or pronoun. As we earlier talked about the use of adjectives that they modify. For example, he is an old man of 60 years. So old is used before noun. This is the first position of adjective. Old is an adjective. Second, an adjective also can come after the noun or pronoun or verb in a sentence. For example, she seems intelligent. So she is pronoun used here, subject, and seems used here is a verb. Intelligent is an adjective. So intelligent adjective in this sentence is after pronoun or verb. 5 degrees of adjectives. Degrees of adjective. It's very important to know about the degrees of each and every adjective. Each and every adjective has its 3 degrees. The first one is positive degree, the second one is comparative degree, the third one is superlative degrees. Adjectives have 3 degrees that compare one thing to another. The 3 degrees are positive, comparative and superlatives. The comparative and superlative degrees are used to compare between 2 or more things. 2 or more things comparison. For comparison we use comparative and superlative degrees. These 3 degrees express the intensity of adjective and increasing order. Intensity, it tells us about the intensity of anything. Intensity of adjective in increasing order, from positive to comparative and from comparative to superlative degree. Some of the examples of adjectives are given and or examples or degrees of adjectives. Positive, comparative, superlative. The first one example is heavy, heavier, heaviest, large, larger, largest, many, more, most, bad, worse and worse. These are some of the examples of degrees of adjectives. Now on the basis of functions and characteristics, adjectives are further divided into many types. The first one is descriptive adjectives. Descriptive adjectives further divided into 2 types. The first one is predicative adjectives. The second one is attributive adjectives. Second main type, limiting adjectives. Limiting adjectives are further divided into many types. The first one is definite adjective. Second one is indefinite adjectives. Third one is possessive adjectives. Fourth one is demonstrative adjectives. Fifth one is interrogative adjectives. Sixth one is proper adjectives. And there are many other types of adjectives, for example, adjectives of quality, adjectives of quantity, adjectives of number, etc. Dear student, if you have any problem in any topic related to grammar or text or your textbook, you can mention in comments. Thank you and have a nice day.